there, this is Vahid from VRF Education channel, and today I am with you with the 6th session of design pattern in C++ and Qt. Today we are going to talk about builder pattern. It's a creational design pattern and lets us construct complex objects step by step. In other words, this pattern allows us to produce different types and representation of an object using the same construction code. So what does it mean? Imagine that we have a complex object that we need to initialize a lot of fields in order to get a real object. For example, in this example, we have a house-based object, and here we can create different type of house. For example, house with garage, house with fancy statues, and the other ones. So in order to get each of these objects from the house-based object, we need to pass a lot of parameters in the constructor. Something like this. We have a house object and we need to pass a lot of objects, for example, number of windows, number of doors, number of rooms, has garage, has swimming pool, and the other ones. And based on the constructor initialization, we get one of these objects that we saw in previous slides. Okay, so here we need to do a lot of initialization inside the constructor, and the code will be somehow ugly and we lead to some spaghetti code. So what is the solution? Here is where that builder pattern come into play. Builder pattern suggests to create another classes named builders and then move the construction code from the class itself to these kind of classes. Here we have a lot of methods that gonna create a part of that complex object for us, and at last we can call a getResult method to get an object, a complete object with those steps that we need to pass to create that specific object. For example, we can call build walls, build doors, build windows, build roofs, and we don't need any garage, so we just can get a simple house without a garage. Or we can add another method named build swimming pool. Another thing like this. So the most important point here is that we don't need to call all of these steps. We just can call only those steps that are necessary for producing a particular configuration of an object. This is the most important point of this pattern. And also, some of the construction steps might require different implementation when you need to build a various representation of one product. For this scenario, we suggest to create different builder pattern classes, something like abstract factory, that we have different factories class and then we just use one of them. For example, in this scenario, maybe we need to create a cabin that the wall built with wood, or we can create a castle that wall must be built with stone. So we have to create two different builder classes, for example, cabin builder and castle builder. And then we have more than one builder class inside our code. We need another role in this pattern, and that role is director. Director is a class that's gonna specify which builder class should be used to construct objects in this run of the application. We'll talk about it very soon. This is the first structure that we are going to use for builder pattern. Here we have two different products, and for each of these products we need to create a builder pattern, a builder class, I'm sorry. And so we have two different builder classes here. They are inherited from another base class that contains a couple of steps for creating these products. And also here we have a director. We need to pass an instance of builder classes, this one or this one, to this director, and then use the functionality of director class, such as make method, to create object using these builder classes. So this is the main entry point of the pattern inside our code, the director, and we need to pass a builder class in order to get these products from that specific builder classes. Let's see another structure also. This structure is a diagram for a fast food restaurant that we want to create a typical meal, that it could be a burger and a cold drink. The burger itself could be either a veg burger or a chicken burger and will be packed by a wrapper. Cold drink could be either a Coke or Pepsi and it will be packed in a bottle. So for this scenario, we need to create an item interface for burger and cold drink, and these two classes also will be extended using these four classes: veg burger, chicken burger, and Pepsi and Coke. So these are the items that we need to put inside a meal, and then each of them using a different packing system. Bottle and a wrapper are the classes that we use to pack these type of items inside our meals, and these two also implement or inherit from another interface named packing. Now let's see how these items work together to create builder pattern in practice, and then in next session I'm gonna tell you another scenario for builder pattern to completely understand the basic concept of this pattern in practice. Let's go and do some practical examples. If this is the first pattern that you're watching on my YouTube channel, I should tell you that I created a Qt widget application project and add all those patterns that I've been talking about into this project in the separate folders. So each folder contains the file related to this specific pattern, for example, and I pushed it to my GitHub repository so you can download it and work with the patterns in your local machine. And also there's an enter point for this application main window .ui file. Here we have a UI that contains all the patterns that I've been talking about till now, and for each pattern I'm going to add a button here so you can redirect the application execution file to that specific pattern and see the output. So today we are going to talk about another one named builder pattern. Builder. This is under creational category, and let's change also the name between builder. Something wrong. Builder. Yeah, that's correct. And also let's add a slot for this button, and then inside that slot we can redirect it to the folder that we are going to create for builder pattern. This is the way that we are working in this tutorial. The code's all in C++, and you can apply it to all your C++ project, but I use Qt framework as the base of project for demonstration. Let's get back to diagram and see what we are going to create in this project. It's a restaurant app, so everything works around the meal class, the main class in our application. So each meal contains two different type of items: a food, or the main food, and a drink. So we have two different food here and two different type of drink here. So in meal, we don't need to know anything about the specific item that we're going to add to this class. We just need to know what items are inside this meal. So burger and cold drink are inherit from a class, the class named items. These are meal items. So inside the meal class, we have an array list of items that it should be a burger or a cold drink, nothing else. And then we inherit from this burger class using this veg burger and chicken burger, and for the cold drink we have Pepsi and Coke. So we can add these concrete classes to our meal main class, and then iterate through this items list and show, for example, the items or get the cost of total meal. Let's see what we can do. We are just to start with the meal class, and then we go for the others. Here, let's create. At first, I'm going to add, let's start with item. I'm going to create an item class. This is the base class for burger and cold drink, and change the name, and also said, okay, please add it to builder. Let's add an offset builder one, because maybe in future I'm going to add another type of builder pattern, another example of builder pattern to this project, and that's it. So inside it, I'm going to add a couple of items. For example, the name. There should be a method, a virtual method that's going to return the name of the item. The type is QString, and the method name is name. Let's also add QString to this class. And also, we're going to specify which type of packing we use for this specific item. So we need to first create the packing class, and after that create that method here. And also let's cast it to a pure virtual function, and do the same for price. Virtual float price. For each item we need to specify the price. And right now let's create the packing class also. It's another base class, packing. This packing specifies how these items should be packed. And here I'm just gonna create, I'm sorry, virtual QString, the name of packing, and it's also a pure virtual function, so we don't need to implement it here. And then in the item class we have another method that return an instance to packing class. So for each item we should specify exactly that this item should be packed using what kind of packing system. And that's it. So it's okay. Now we just add this class and also this class. Let's add these two classes, wrapper and bottle. Okay, I'm gonna add another class named, for example, wrapper. Let's add packing also at the end of the name to specify this is a packing class for some clarification, and also it's gonna inherit from packing class. That's it, finished. And here I'm gonna insert all the virtual function inside the base class. You just only have one item. In here I'm gonna say return wrapper packing. Okay, that's it. And then let's add the other one, bottle packing. It's also inherited from packing, and change the name. Insert virtual functions, and here the name is the only virtual function that we have, and I'm gonna return bottle packing. Okay, let's close all these items. And after that I'm gonna create these two general or intermediate classes, burger and cold drink. Let's start with the burger class, and the name is burger. In general, it's gonna inherit from item class, and that's it. So here, if I press Alt and Enter in Qt environment and insert virtual function, here we have three different items. Here I'm just gonna implement packing and let the other to be implemented in the leaf classes or in the veg burger and chicken burger, because in this general class we don't have any idea about the name and also the price. We just know that each burger should be packed using wrapper packing. Okay, and let's press OK. That's it. So because it has another virtual function that it's not implemented, you cannot instantiate from the burger class instantly. Here I'm going to say, okay, return I'm sorry, new wrapper packing. This is just the packing that we use for burger. Include wrapper packing. Yeah, okay, that's it. And also we should do the same for cold drink. Okay, the name is cold drink. It also inherits from item class, and change the name. And here again we're gonna just implement the packing method. Add definition. Here I'm going to say return a new instance of bottle packing, and also let's add include file and move it to I'm sorry, this one. Moved it to header file. So till now we implement this class and also these two classes with this one and also this class and this class. Now let's go to the last level classes or leaf classes. Two type of burger and two type of cold drink. Let's close all of them. So here we're going to add another class. The name is Wakeburger, and it inherits from burger class. Next, and press finish. Here I'm going to insert the virtual function that it says from item class we have two candidates, name and pricing. Here let's say, okay, please implement these two classes for me. For the name I'm gonna return just in a string. The name is Wake Burger, and for price I'm gonna return, for example, $25. That's it. And then let's implement another concrete class, chicken burger. Again, it inherits from burger class, and change the names. That's it. Here I'm gonna implement those virtual functions and add the body for this function to CPP file. For price I'm gonna return $50, and for name again I'm gonna just return chicken burger. So that's it. And now let's do the same for Coke and Pepsi. Close all these items and add new items here. The name is Coke. It inherits from cold drink class. And just let's copy this one, paste it, and finish. So let's also insert the virtual function here. For price I'm gonna return, for example, $30, and the name is just Coke. Return Coke. And let's add another one. It's Pepsi. Base class is cold drink, and change the name to this one. Implement virtual functions. Add the body. The price is, for example, $35, and the name is Pepsi. So we just create all the classes that we need as the base or concrete classes that we are working with. Now it's time for our main class, meal. So let's add a class named meal. It's not inherit from anything. So inside the meal class, we need to specify first a list of items, because each meal contains a list of those items. Here I'm gonna create a queue list of item, underline items. Let's add queue list header file and also item, and then I'm gonna create a method add item. It's gonna receive a new item, and the new item will be added to underline items list. Underline item dot append new item. Another method that we need to work with is get cost. So we need to declare a float, a method with the return type of float and the type, or you can just say cost. So here we need to iterate over the all items inside underline items list and add the items price together, sum plus equal to item dot price, and then return the sum. And we should do the same or iterate the same list for show items. Void show items inside a list. We just need to iterate over the items list, and here I'm gonna use qdebug and print the item dot name, and also let's print the item dot packing dot name, and also let's print the item dot price. This is all information about the items inside one meal. Qdebug. So that's okay. Now the other step is to create the meal builder class. We can work with this meal class in our client, so we need to declare a method or instantiate an instance from this meal class and try to add items to create new items in our client code. But it's not a good look, and it's gonna somehow make the structure of your code ugly. So we're going to easily create a new class named, for example, meal builder, and inside it I'm going to declare two public methods. Each one gonna return an instance of meal class, and for example here I'm gonna say prepare wake meal. It's a type of predefined meal. In wake meal I need to add a wake burger with a Coke, and in the non-wake meal I'm gonna add a chicken burger and a Pepsi. So let's duplicate it and say prepare non-wake meal, and also let's add make a meal header file and add the implementation here. So the magic things happen in these two methods. Here I'm gonna say I had a meal class auto meal equal to, and its new instance of meal class, and I'm going to return it. So what does it contain? Here I'm going to say meal dot add item a new. Here we have a baked meal, so I'm going to add a new baked burger, and also I'm going to add meal dot add new, for example, Coke. And also we need to add the header files, and also for this one. And let's copy these 4 lines and paste it here. This time I'm going to add chicken burger, and change it with Pepsi. So also let's add header file for these classes. The name is a little bit strange. Why let's change it. It's a little bit Pepsi. And I'm gonna cut all these. Let's move it down and cut all these lines and paste them inside the header file. And let's build the application to see what we have right now. Okay, everything is okay. So till now I create all the items except this one, builder pattern demo. For this purpose I'm going to create a UI file with 2 buttons, wake meal for and non-wake meals, and get the output from the meal builder. So for this purpose, I'm gonna create this time a Qt class, Qt designer form class, and the name is builder one demo dialog. Builder one. So here I'm gonna add 3 push buttons. One is close, to close the. Let's also change the name to btn close and create a slot. When it clicks, the dialog should be reject. And then for this one, I'm gonna say wake mail, and for this one, I'm gonna say none wake mail. Let's align them using a vertical or a vertical layout. And for this one, I'm gonna add btn wake mail. Oops. btn wake mail, and here btn non-wake mail. Go to click start for each button separately, and here first in the header file for this UI file, I'm gonna create an instance of mail builder and call it underline builder. I'm just gonna declare it as simple. It's not a pointer. And then inside it, I'm gonna say underline builder, underline builder dot prepare wake mail for me. That's it. So the client code is pretty clean. You just call another a method in another class and tell prepare something for me, build something for me. And here inside this code, I'm gonna say underline builder dot prepare wake mail. This one is non-wake, yeah. So if we don't use builder class, we need to do all these codes inside the mail builder class in our code. And imagine that our object construction contains a lot of steps. So our code is getting really ugly. But this time we just only call one method, prepare something for me. And it's very transparent for or other developers to realize that what this class is going to prepare for us or going to construct for us. So let's run the application and see the output. Here, oops, I forgot to also add the code here. Here I'm gonna say I had a class named builder one demo dialog. The name is DLG, and add the header file. Okay, it's a little bit, maybe I should type it here. Builder one / builder demo dialog, and then call dialog.exec. So let's run the application and see the results. Builder pattern, yeah, this dialog shown. And if I press wake mail, nothing happened. Why? I expected something happen here. Oh, I forgot to, oh, I'm sorry, prepare wake mail, and we forgot to, here, auto mail. This just prepare a mail for me, and then I need to call, for example, show items. And for this one again, I'm going to create a local variable named mail and call the show items here. And also we have cost inside this show items output, so we don't need to call the cost method for mail. Builder pattern wake mail. So as you can see, it says burger, wake burger, wrapper packing, and $25, Coke bottle packing, and $30. And for the other ones, if I click set chicken burger, it's non-wake. It's using wrapper packing, $50, and the drink is Pepsi. It's bottle packing and $35. So here is the way that we can use builder pattern very simply to create things in another class or construct things in another class, construct objects that need to do some steps in order to create that object successfully without getting into using some constructor with a lot of parameters, maybe null values, or some checking inside the constructor pass based on the parameter passed to that constructor. So I hope you enjoy this session and use this pattern in your code. Till next session and another sample for builder pattern. Goodbye.